New York is the city that never sleeps, and neither does Sal Licata. From Flushing in the Bronx to the Meadowlands in MSG, Sal sounds off on the biggest sports news of the day. Welcome to WFAN Daily with Sal Licata.
That was an incredible win for the Yankees. A big-time win, a needed win. You're not going to say must win in April. However, Yankees were on the verge of losing their fourth straight game. They looked lifeless. The offense wasn't clicking at all. And then, in typical Yankee fashion, they come back. A tremendous win for this ball club. Now, for me, the game turned in the eighth inning during Soto's at-bat. And I think the first pitch was a ball. After that, the next two pitches were strikes where he swung and missed at pitches and looked awful. And it was weird because you usually don't see Soto looking that off balance. They even mentioned it during the broadcast. You're like, man, what's going on here? But then in that same at-bat, Soto, a couple of pitches later, after looking not overmatched, but just looking off balance at least in the beginning, he then squares one up, crushes a home run, and gives the Yankees life. It was at that point, you watch the game through 8 innings, so you're thinking, man, the Yankees offense just can't get anything going. Soto works that at bat, hits the home run, cuts it to 4-2, giving the Yankees a chance. Then Giancarlo with the bomb. Now, I still don't trust Giancarlo big picture long term, but this is what he does. He's going to hit home runs. And in that spot, did you really want a home run? Would you rather have a rally, get guys on, maybe get him in? Understood. Maybe you're thinking it's going to be a solo homer, but yeah, is anybody else going to come up from behind and be able to get the job done? That's what's the key point. So while the turning point to me was Soto's at bat, Stanton obviously cuts it to within one with the bomb of a home run. But the fact that the bottom of the order got the job done for the Yankees, Gleyber with a base hit. Welcome to the party, Gleyber. I mean, it's about damn time. Gleyber Torres has looked so lost offensively, defensively. I mean, they're going to have to sit him. And then he gets that big base hit. They might have to sit him anyway, but then he gets that big base hit to keep things going. And then you see the pinch hit by Trevino, obviously a big at-bat right there. He gets the job done. Verdugo before that, he gets the job done. Verdugo's the one guy in the bottom of the order that I trust. But Gleyber does it. Then you have Verdugo. Then you have Trevino. It's an obvious pinch hit situation for me. Austin Wells has been a 0 for the Yankees. I like Trevino. We had this conversation today with BT. I know he's been down on Trevino and hopeful with Austin Wells. Point is, they haven't got much production from either guy, but at least with Trevino, I feel like in a big spot, he's going to put the bat on the ball and do something. Well, he did just that this afternoon. And then, of course, you work it back around. And I'm not even getting on Soto. I know people texting me, like, you guys got to relax. It was the one at bat that I criticized with Soto. It was a different spot. Down 3 at home against the Marlins with 2 guys on, 2 outs for Soto with Judge on deck who's struggling. I want Soto to do damage in that spot. I'm looking for him to tie the game with a 3-run homer. In a tie game with guys on base, it's not a big deal if you take a walk. Obviously, I'd rather see Soto do damage, and I do think ultimately he is extremely passive, not even swinging the bat, but I'm not going to get on him for that walk. I wasn't watching that feeling like, oh, you need to do more. The damage was already done. The Yankees had tied the game. Now I want to see them get the lead. And whether that means walking because they don't give you anything to hit and loading the bases, getting it up for Aaron Judge, fine. You didn't need to force the issue there. Down 3 against the Marlins, different story. Now that we've got that out of the way, Soto gets on base, and here comes the Judge. And he finally delivers. Does this mean that Judge is going to get going now? No, I have no idea. You hope. I thought he was going to get going after the Cleveland series where he looked really good. But you just felt the way that this game changed. I did in the 8th inning with the Soto homer. And then in the 9th, you felt that Judge was going to come through there. It was just a matter of time. Toronto, their relievers looked scared. They couldn't get the job done at all. Couldn't get anybody out. Was afraid to throw strikes. Judge does get the job done. Good for the Yankees. And then the punctuation. How about Anthony Vulpi's play to close it out? That is a Gold Glove play. I know he won the Gold Glove last year, and I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but, the Gold Glove doesn't mean what it used to mean. I watch with my eyes and feel if a guy's a Gold Glover. That type of play that Vulpi made to close out that game, that is a Gold Glove play. A Gold Glove play by a Gold Glove shortstop. And Vulpi been struggling at the dish a little bit too, so it's nice to see him have that great defensive play. I'm not worried about Vulpi at all. And ultimately, I'm not really worried about the Yankees. Now, there are some flaws there. You can't forget that the majority of the game, they looked lifeless. And a lot of times, their offense has been the issue here. I got on Rodon last night. I thought he was awful, as a matter of fact, in that game. I'm not accepting 4 innings, 4 walks, 101 pitches, whatever he throws. To me, that's not good enough. I need more, especially without Garrett Cole, and especially for a guy you're paying to be the number 2 starter on this team. But that's not their biggest issue, the offense. But if the offense is the biggest issue, then why were we all saying that what they were doing, being savages in the box, and the Soto effect is real? Because it's not just Soto or Judge or Volpe, it's everybody else grinding pitchers, working at bats. Well, that hasn't really been true. It was to start. It hasn't really been true as of late. The Yankees still show some signs of last year. Outside of Soto, they still show some signs of last year's offense that when things aren't going well, they look bad. And Soto can be a difference maker, the lone difference maker, as he was today. An incredible game. Just an incredible offensive game from him. It kept the Yankees in the game, kept them close, obviously. He did the early damage. And then the rest of the team started to join the party in that 9th inning. Will that be enough, though? Do you trust Rizzo, Gleyber, Stanton? Those will be the 3 keys for me, because I trust 1, 2, 3 in the order with Vulpi, Soto, and Judge. I even trust 7, 8, 9 because you're not expecting a lot from those guys. I think the catchers will be serviceable. They were obviously a key part today with Trevino getting that base hit. Oswaldo batting down there. I think he could do damage. Verdugo has proven to be, clutch at times. So I'm okay with 7, 8, 9. It's 4, 5, 6 that are the issues. Now, that may change when you get Dominguez back. It may change when LeMahieu comes back here in short order. But if I'm concerned about the Yankees offense, 4, 5, 6, Stanton, Rizzo, Gleyber, whoever else they want to throw in there, that might be my biggest issue with the Yankees team, because the guys in front of those guys are going to be on base. And you need 4, 5, 6 to get the job done. And they did. The Yankees did it today. Stanton with that big home run. And then obviously in the 9th inning, everybody contributing. That is just a great win. It's so good that it makes you forget about the 3-game losing streak. Makes you forget the fact that you lost the series in Toronto. Take the off day tomorrow. Enjoy, recoup, do whatever it is that you got to do. And then you take on the Rays as they come to town at the stadium on Friday. Honor John Sterling, of course, on Saturday. But that is a great, great early season victory for the Yankees. And maybe now it does get Aaron Judge going moving forward. We can't ignore the Mets here, who they also had a great win. Not as great, not as big of a comeback, but they sweep the Pirates. They finished the homestand 5-1, which is the complete opposite of the first homestand of the year, 1-5. They look much better as a team. They get down early, 1-0. They come back, no big deal, and get the win. Solid starting pitching. Quintana, again, the Mets have had Quintana last night, Severino. I mean, the Mets have had solid starting pitching to where the recipe is Severino went 6 today. But you get Quintana going 5 or 6, Severino going 5 or 6, then hand it over to the bullpen and get some timely hitting. Bader doing some more damage again. Harrison Bader finding himself in the thick of things, not just defensively, but that gamer that we saw at the Yankees where he was clutching the postseason, that energy, that attitude. I mean, you look, how about, you look at Tyrone Taylor for the Mets, what he's done. He's becoming one of my favorite players here. He plays baseball the right way, puts the bat on the ball. I don't care if they're just singles, puts the bat on the ball. Gamer, passionate, fields his position well. Can play obviously multiple positions in the outfield. The Mets have some ball players on this team, and those little things that the good ball players, well-rounded ball players do, they help you win games. I know it sounds pretty simple, right? Hey, get good baseball players, win more games. But it's not just about launch angle and analytics. David Stearns has done an incredible job, which is why I said the Mets won the offseason. And by the way, where's that caller that last week said, how about the Mets? Did they win the offseason now? Yeah, dipshit. They did. How about that? They did. I felt it then. I feel it now even more because they brought in guys that can help them win baseball games. Now, will the Mets finish 500? Who knows? I have no idea if they're going to do that or not. But the fact that they're over 500 already after their 0-5 start, that shows something. Energy, chemistry, a little bit of toughness, some character. the second most comeback wins in baseball, only behind the Orioles. That is something to be excited about. Now, what's going to happen on the West Coast? Mets take on the Dodgers here. No idea. Mets take on the Giants. I mean, I'm hoping for 3-3. Would love 4-2. Probably my gut is expecting 2-4, but it doesn't matter really because the Mets righted their ship. The season is back on, and they're playing an inspired brand of baseball that is fun to watch. Both New York teams, different levels, obviously, of success, both new and expectation, both New York teams are fun to watch. And that, especially at this point, is all that we can ask for. That does it for this edition of WFAN Daily. Please download, rate, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, hit us up on the email, wfandaily@gmail.com. We'll answer your emails and comments on an upcoming mailbag episode. Tomorrow, we'll do some Mets. We'll have Tyler Ward, as he's a big Mets YouTuber and has developed a following. So we'll look forward to having him on and discussing the Mets a little bit further. We'll do that for the podcast tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. We'll see you tomorrow.